What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts, no overdraft fees. Help me see. What's in your? Once many heard about Walmart's Black Friday deals. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Karkadash. Welcome to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, and I say Shalom. And the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last book of our tongue. I say, welcome to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, and I say Shalom. And this is a prophecy update as of November 9th, 2025, on this Sunday afternoon. And this is a news article from RT.com as of November 9th, 2025. It reads World News. It says British anti-drone unit deployed to Belgium. Defense minister has said the move is aimed to counter hybrid threats. Theo Franken has said a British anti-drone unit has arrived in Belgium to counter a hybrid threat. Defense Minister Theo Franklin announced on Sunday in a post on X. It says London confirmed the deployment, citing several drone sightings reported over Belgium last week. Sir Richard, head of the British Armed Forces, acknowledged that the origin of the unnamed aerial vehicles, the UAV spotted over the area, remaining unknown. Franklin's recently caused stir by threatening to wipe out Moscow off the map. In an interview with Belgian outlet De Morgan last month, he later sought to clarify his remarks, claiming that they had been made in a context of NATO's principles and deterrence. He maintained that the bloc was not at war with Russia, but added that it would not take back a single word from the controversial interview. Moscow condemned his remarks as irresponsible and called them an example of military psychosis. Psychotics, I meant to say. It says several Western officials have recently accused Russia aircraft and drone violation of European Union airspace, labeling the incidents as part of the alleged hybrid war by Moscow. The Kremlin has denied the allegations and accused the West of fostering an anti-Russian hysteria. It says the European Union has increasingly used anti-Russian rhetoric to justify a massive military expenditures. It says the rearm Europe package presented in March aims to mobilize up to $800 billion to $933 billion to expand the European Union's military under the pretext of countering the alleged Russian threat. The bloc also unveils a plan to create a drone wall, prompting by the UAV's sightings in the several member states. The incident were immediately blamed on Russia. Moscow dismissed the claims as false accusations. Last month, the European Union Commission also revealed plans to establish a pace to shield to protect his satellites from an alleged Russian threat, but has not disclosed a budget. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Russia versus Ukraine, Russia versus NATO. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, which goes into ethnos, and the kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. It's the book of Luke 21, verse 25. It says, there shall be signs in the sun. There shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth. disgressive nations will perplex Seabridge Warren. Right, and that's what we're seeing, as it says again. British anti-drone unit deployed to Belgium, defense minister says. The move is aimed to counter a hybrid threat, Theo Franklin has said. Right, so these are wars and rumors of wars. Expressive nations will perplex Seabridge Warren. Trump accused the BBC of election meddling. The European Union member vows to oppose siege of Russian assets. It says Zelensky sanctions leading Russian peace negotiator. It says Russia won't break nuclear test ban unless U.S. does. Most likely they will, because you're still going to have that nuclear arms race between Russia and the United States. Because all that's going to lead to the Third World War. It says the BBC boss quit amid scandals over Dr. Trump's speech. Washington earlier branded the British state fund broadcaster 100% fake news for its deception of the 2021 U.S. Capitol RISTS. This is some more news articles. And this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided, except the kingdom I stand. Right, so if a kingdom be divided, except the kingdom I stand. That's what we're seeing. St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided, except the house I stand. Right, we're seeing the nation of Edom is being divided. That's what we're seeing on a daily basis. St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 26. And if Satan rise against itself, be divided, can I stand to heaven again? Right, that's what we're seeing on a daily basis. Get to some news articles. It says the Trump administration orders states to stop making payments for SNAP food assistance benefits. Right, because you've been having, especially this ever since this government shutdown. Even though, according to a news article, they agreed to a deal, but definitely, ever since this shutdown occurs over there in Washington, we've been seeing the division between the liberals and the conservatives, and it goes into that St. Mark the third chapter. If a house be divided, except the house cannot stand, and if a kingdom be divided, except the kingdom cannot stand. This is more than all that was previously. Get to some more news. It says a powerful earthquake struck off the coast of Japan. Right, because you had that 6.9 earthquake hit over there in Japan. And then ever since then, it's been 25 aftershocks of that earthquake, ranging from 6.4 to 6.5, 6.0, and over a 5.0 earthquake. It says Ukraine's army fights to hold Paskalov in a battle for territory and narrative, right wars, rumors wars between Russia and Ukraine. It says a super typhoon slammed the Philippines coastal line, massive evacuations. Right, that's what's that second as the ninth chapter, that the Heavenly Father is going to visit the earth with these weather-like conditions, especially these tornadoes, earthquakes, landslides, floodings, famines, and pest plagues, etc. It says Britain, France, Germany aids Belgium after a drone inclusion. Yep, next sign of wars and rumors of wars. Russian airstrike on Ukraine dips in October, likely due to bad weather, UK officials have said from the Washington Times. It says Ecuador prison riot leaves 4 inmates unalive and dozens injured by uproars. People were. It says Ukraine special forces are at war with Russia. SAMS. Yep, another sign of wars and rumors of wars. China mysterious fighter jet is apparently near completion. Yet another sign of wars, rumors, wars. Joel third chapter. Ceasefire or control pause. Israel has a class shift to enforcement and definition. It says a Russian city of Voronezh loses power after an overnight drone attack. Right, Western war, the Russian-Ukrainian situation is only going to intensify as we see it as the days progresses on. Another indicator that Matthew 24 chapters in full effect. Wars, rumors, wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says Pakistan Afghanistan peace talks breaks down in Istanbul, a rising border tensions. Right, another sign of wars and rumors of wars. And this is from PBS Online as of November the 8th. PBS.org, published by Shabdad Tajrakasi from the Associated Press as of November the 8th, 2025, reads at 6:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says Pakistan and Afghanistan peace talks breaks down in Istanbul amending rising border tensions. Stop for a second. This is from Islamabad from the Associated Press. It says peace talks between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Istanbul has ended without agreement. It says both sides trading blame for the breakdown of the negotiations aiming at easing border tensions and upholding a fragile ceasefire. It says officials said Saturday. It says tensions have escalated in recent weeks, following a deadly border fighting that unalived dozens of soldiers and civilians. It says the violence erupted after the explosion in Kabul October 9th, which Afghanistan's Taliban government says were a drone strike conducted by Pakistan and vows to avenge. The clash is subdued after Qatar broke its ceasefire October 19, which means a tenacious in place. It says Afghanistan governor spokesperson Zabudalia Mujahid blamed Pakistan for the talks' failure, saying that Pakistan demands in the negotiations were unreasonable and the talks could not proceed. The meeting ended and the talks are a standstill for now. Speaking during a press conference from the southern Afghan city Saturday, it says Mujahid said Afghanistan does not want to end security in the region and entering in a war is not the first choice, but it is noted that if war breaks out, we have a right to defend ourselves. It says earlier he has reiterated the written statement. The Afghan will not allow anyone to use this territory against another country, nor permit actions that underlines a sovereignty or security. It says talks to end without progress. The two-day talks in Istanbul, mediated by Turkey and Qatar, or the two or the third round of peace negotiations that were viewed as one of the most significant diplomatic efforts between the two neighboring since Taliban seized power in Afghanistan in 2021. Despite the intense battle channel The diplomacy officials saying the discussion stalled late Friday without tangible progress. Pakistan Defense Minister Khalid Abshif told the private Geo News channel late Friday that the talks are over and that the Pakistan delegations will return to home with no plan for any future meetings. He added that the ceasefire would remain in place as long as it is not violated from Afghan side. Pakistan repeatedly accused Afghans Taliban rule in harboring the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP), a militant group responsible for the surging attacks inside Pakistan since 2021. Kabul denies the charge, says it does not allow its territory to be used against other countries. Although separate from Afghanistan's ruling Taliban, the TTP is closely allied and has been involved since the Taliban 2021 taking over of Kabul. During the news conference, Najati rejected accusations that Pakistan responsible for this action of the TTP, saying that the creation of the group has long predicated Taliban's 2021 takeover of the Afghanistan clashes continue. The collapse talks came the night after the Afghan officials reported that 4 civilians were unalive and 5 others wounded in a cross-border clashes, despite the ongoing negotiations. This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided, still the kingdom not stand, right with him. St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided, still the house not stand. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of the prophecy updates as of November the 9th, 2025 on a Sunday afternoon. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Okakadash. And the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwakadash Sultan. I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.